scandals, pranks, and controversies.
In a school where creativity is cultivated, who would think that an art project would set off a major controversy over censorship? See what happens when one student stands up for her right to self-expression. Welcome to Wheeling, Illinois, a Midwestern town you can visit and not even know you've been there. It's basically every town USA.
Wheeling, Illinois is a quiet town. Like, not too much happens around here.
It's just a very friendly sort of town in a simple suburban way.
It's not every day where there's controversy in Wheeling.
That's Wheeling High School, home of a quirky, creative student body. It's a place where you're free to be whoever you want to be.
It's a really open, really laid-back kind of place.
There's different groups of people at Wheeling High School, but everyone still gets along.
I would say Wheeling is definitely a place where diversity and openness is celebrated.
That's Mary, a straight-A senior and active club member, but most importantly, Wheeling High's most celebrated artist.
Mary's art is amazing.
She is able to take something that could be very ordinary and make it extraordinary.
Art to me is life. If I wasn't thinking about my next project, I would go insane.
Over the years, Mary gained a reputation for her edgy and abstract artwork. But for her final project, she decided to make a political statement.
The painting itself is of a woman with an exposed breast. In our media, women are cast as these kind of perfect-looking blonde, supermodels. So I wanted to create a piece that kind of really contradicted that. I was very happy with how it turned out.
Mary finished her latest painting just in time for Self-Expression Week, an annual event celebrating student creativity.
Only the strongest students, the best senior artists get the chance to put up their artwork.
It's basically like their own little art show.
I decided to put this painting in Self-Expression Week. I didn't think twice about putting it up. I thought people would appreciate it.
Mary had just put up her painting and was going to get some more things to put up, and I had noticed the dean was standing in front of the case, and he picked up his walkie-talkie and he started talking into it, saying, "You have to come see what they just put up in the foyer, and it's an abomination."
The dean started calling other people over, saying that we have a situation.
We're getting fired up. We're like, this is not fair. This is not right. This cannot be happening.
I run back to the case, big group of people there, and the deans are waiting for me. They were calling it an embarrassment. They were saying, how can we put this up when parents might see it?
The dean said that girls will think that they are allowed to come to school with a breast exposed because of this painting.
What? What is that?
Mary was very, very upset.
I was just screaming. I was like, you're censoring your students. You're shutting us out. Do you know what you're doing?
A couple minutes later, the principal walks into the foyer and she goes, "Absolutely not. Take it down. Take it down. Absolutely not."
It felt like they were surrounding me and I got to come out with my hands up. So I had given up at that point. I took that painting and I just walked down that hallway.
The administration had won the fight, but for Mary, the war had only just begun.
We all went to that room, and Mary was pretty upset.
We were talking about what should be done, and we were kind of brainstorming.
And we all agreed that we couldn't shut up about this.
And she saw this paper lying on the table that was the most hideous shade of green you could ever imagine. And she's like, this will be perfect.
I just kept thinking, I want to deface it. I want to put this back up with that paper on it to show them.
She covered the breast in her painting with the ugly, gross green paper.
I knew there wasn't anything they could do about it because I had censored it myself.
It did exactly what it needed to do, which was draw more attention to the fact that this wonderful piece of art was being censored.
After the painting went back up with its blatant new addition, Mary's showdown with the administration became the hot topic.
Everyone seemed to hear about the argument that took place in the hallway between the administration, the teachers, and Mary.
I mean, everybody was talking about it.
A ton of people just started leaving little notes. There were signs that said censorship is wrong.
There was such support from the students because they felt strongly about not allowing censorship to happen.
As student support continued to grow, Mary and her friends decided to take their in-school battle to the public.
We were so pleased with everything we were seeing, but still we thought it was so unjust.
I called the local news just to see if they were interested, and they're like, well, we want to cover it for our 9 o'clock news.
We rush right to Wheeling. We see the cameraman, and they're just like, okay, we're gonna tape this right now.
She talked to the news, and it was really incredible how interested they were in a story. We all go back to Mary's house, and we are psyched.
As we were watching the news, I remember they introed it, and literally we all like screamed.
We were just like, ha ha, what's the administration gonna do about this? They didn't want anyone to know about it. Now the whole city's gonna know.
After the success of the news blitz, the girls prepared for their final stand.
We thought, you know what? We should have a peaceful protest.
So we decided we could, cut up green pieces of paper and wear it, on our breast.
We cut up that green paper like nobody's business. We were slicing and dicing all night.
The next day at school, the girls got busy recruiting supporters.
We each had a stack of papers, and we would just talk to anybody. Say, you know what? We're having an outdoor demonstration.
Everyone had green paper on.
During lunch period, we got together, went outside with signs and stuff like that said, Wheeling censors art.
Everyone was so excited, just shouting and cheering.
Everybody outside along the curb was saying support the arts. Tons of cars were honking. People were yelling stuff out their windows.
I remember the principal came out and she was just watching us protest and they couldn't say anything.
We weren't breaking any rules, and that was the purpose. We didn't break any rules so they couldn't say anything to us.
So at the end of the lunch period, we all just kind of went our separate ways. I think everybody at that point just felt we've really made a statement here.
News of the students uniting behind Mary sparked media interest and brought an unexpected offer.
I got a call from Woman Made Gallery in Chicago. They were having a show and they wanted my piece to be in it. She asked me to display the painting the way I had intended it, which is without the paper, with the breast exposed. I jumped on the idea right away.
So not only did Mary's painting find a friendly and uncensored showcase, but in the end, the students of Wheeling High came together for a cause, an experience that many will never forget.
This event is going to be the thing I remember about high school.
To walk through the hallway and see green patches on girls' left breasts and green patches on guys' crotches, it sounds ridiculous, but it was amazing because you're seeing all these people coming together and fighting for what we think is right.
Did the administration let me hang this painting up uncovered? No. But I know they heard what we were trying to say, and that was probably the most rewarding feeling of all.
The Leak on MTV.com brings you Hilary Duff. Log on now to listen to her entire new self-titled album before it hits stores September 28th.
This is Room Raiders Special College Edition, the show that gives 3 unsuspecting roommates the shock of their lives.
Oh, God.
When they find out they're being picked for a date not by their looks or charm, but by what's inside their bedrooms.